Hello and welcome to this video on how to configure Home Access Plus, the renamed CHS EasyLink, currently in version 3. What you'll need to do to configure Home Access Plus is first of all remote desktop into your primary domain controller or the server that is uh, currently running the RM EasyLink application. Once you have remoted into the domain controller or the server that is running the current EasyLink, you'll need to log on. You'll need to first of all browse to microsoft.com/downloads. On microsoft.com/downloads, you'll need to search for the .NET Framework version 3.5 Service Pack 1. You will then need to download preferably the web installer for this. It's usually the top link if you search for the .NET Framework SP1 or near enough there. .NET Framework 3.5 is the download you're looking for. Once you find it, it should be called the .NET FX 3.5 setup. Download and install that. It will, if you're downloading the basic one that's only 3 meg big, it will basically connect to the Microsoft servers and download the latest version of the .NET Framework. Once that is installed, you'll need to go into Internet Information Services, and you will need to check that it's installed and configured properly. To do this, go into the web service extension of this server and check the ASP.NET v2.5.0 2.0.502727 and make sure that is set to allow. If it is set to prohibit, by default it's set to prohibited. Set it to allow. Once you've done that, you'll need to go onto RM, right click on RM and go Properties. Under Properties, you'll need to go into Home Directory and click Configuration. Under here, you should see something called .ascx or anything which has got C drive, in our case WinNT, /Microsoft.NET. If you see that, then it is correctly installed .NET, the .NET Framework. If it doesn't come up with that, what you'll need to do is search online for ASP.NET IIS 6 setup. Basically, it will basically tell you to run a CMD in the console point, which is in the framework directory. It's called ASP.NET regIIS, and you put -I at the end of that, and it will go ahead and configure the IIS for you. What you'll now need to do is go into application pools, and you'll need to create a new application pool to handle the extranet. I'm just going to delete the one that's already there. Okay. Base it on the default application pool and you'll be okay. Under the extranet, you'll need to go into Identity and check that it's running under the network service predefined identity account. If you want to use forms authentication, which will be another configuration video, this will be different. Once you've done that, you'll need to go in, right click on RM and click Open. This will browse you to where the RM folder is located, which for CC3 is the D drive, RM network, RM manage web components. What you'll next need to do is download the latest version of the EasyLink, which can be found on chsextranet.codeplex.com. You've got two choices of downloads. You've got the zip file or the MSI file. I'm going to download the zip file today. Right, once you've downloaded Home Access Plus, you'll need to extract it. The easiest way to do this is to create a new folder called called extranet. Open up the zip file and do a copy and paste job into the extranet folder. This will overwrite any stuff that's in there. There will be stuff that has changed. Once you've done that, you'll now need to configure the extranet, which will be in the next video. We will also now need to configure the configure IIS, however, to do this. So what you'll need to do is right click on the extranet folder under RM. If it's not there, refresh the listing. You'll now need to, by default it will look like that. It won't have a gear on it. To get it with a gear, right click, properties, and click create in the directory. What that'll do is it will turn it into a application. You need to change the application pool to be in that extranet application pool that we just created a minute ago. Click apply, and that's that done. Check to make sure that the .NET Framework is still listed under configuration. Under documents, you'll need to add, by default it will look like that, you'll need to add default.aspx and move it up the list. Click apply. Under directory security, you'll need to go into this and edit it. By default, it will look something like that. What you'll need to do is untick anonymous access, untick integrated authentication, and click basic authentication. Say yes to this because you should be using it over HTTP connection. You'll be then greeted with two blank boxes, default domain and realm. What you'll need to do is set the default domain to crickowl.internal. Leave the realm blank. Click OK. Next you'll need to go into HTTP headers and make sure that there's cache control, no cache listed. This basically means that it's not cached. You might also need to tick the enable content expiration and set it to expire immediately. What you'll also now need to do is go into MIMI types and add a new mini type for the Silverlight application for the fancy uploader. The extension for the MIMI type is .zap and the mini type is application/x Silverlight app. Once you've done that, click apply on all of them and OK, then to close it. And that is how to install the new look EasyLink, codenamed CHS Extranet, which is actually called the Home Access Plus. In the next video, which you should find on YouTube shortly, will be how to configure Home Access Plus.